All right, welcome everyone. We're Semblance of Sanity. I'm Caleb.
I'm Jacob.
And we're here for
Vigilantes, episode 2.
Okay.
An Eraserhead has shown up. And
yes, he
thank
has.
God, because this dude is... he's got a few screws loose.
He's got a few knuckles out of place.
That's right. Mm-hmm. And I think Eraserhead is the perfect person to then... lay down the law, basically, and be like...
Right, but to also maybe
what
get introduced to this trigger drug.
Right.
That seems also like the exact kind of thing that could potentially counter some aspects of Eraserhead's ability, which would then make it the kind of thing that would be very serious to get passed along up the chain as far as heroes go.
Well, and I get the feeling like this will also be a fun way that we can see how much the world and the police and the heroes know about this drug, because I get the feeling Eraserhead would be like, no, yeah, we're also looking into that, you know.
Right, and it's probably the kind of thing where it's also so small scale that it's like it's actually like not our biggest priority right now.
Right, like we have
know
a lot
about
of
it,
irons in the fire.
And
we
it's
have
kind of
teams
like
on it.
there's like 3 people spreading it. Like we know that, and it's
give it 6 months, we'll have it taken care of.
Yeah,
you know?
exactly.
Yeah.
Which
6 months, you know,
could be kind of the big like moral conundrum here, which is that that's still a certain amount of time where people are going to get hurt and people are, lives are going to be threatened. You know, property damage, all the kind of stuff, and you guys could do it faster, but you're not.
Right.
That could be kind of fun to get into.
And maybe you need someone who's willing to threaten lives in order to stop the people that are threatening lives.
Exactly. Yeah. Or just a very offbeat trio team.
Sure.
One that's grounded, one that's a bit head in the clouds, and the other one that's, huffing trash on Monday nights. You know?
So actually, takes them to a diner late at night, and he's like, so here's the deal. We can't officially sanction it. We will deny all involvement.
Yes!
But...
oh my gosh. But I only...
so help me God, if you pull shit like that...
Right, but this kid, he's your representative, he's your leader. And then they're like...
if he says you fucked up, you get locked away, you know?
That'd be nuts. But, all right, y'all, without further ado, let's get into this.
So.
Hello there.
Yeah, just actually with his groceries.
Oh.
Uh-huh.
Damn.
Done.
Whoa. Oh.
Okay, endurance enhancing. All right. Oh.
Oh. Yes.
I love the words popping in.
He's quirkless. Wait.
It'd be heteromorphic then, right?
Well, right, but...
even though he looks like regular human, as far as we can tell.
Takeoff.
Okay.
They're still fighting.
All right.
What? What?
Oh my God. God damn it.
That's crazy.
Oh,
well. Yeah. Actual villains over here.
So I know he's a problem, but we can deal with that later. Maybe for now.
Oh.
Oh.
Yes, all of his dry eyes stuff. Yeah.
So basically, that's just the purview of the police because he's not actually... he's just being a thug.
Right. Yes!
Oh my God.
He's actually
fantastic.
Quirkless. I love it! He just works out!
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Ah!
Well, he dodged
He's
it.
a goddamn hedgehog!
Yep. Gotta go fast.
Yeah, gotta go fast indeed.
I do love, though, that he's drawing their aggro.
Right.
Because he's just me.
Sup, bitch? Bro just came in with the brick.
Cast a brick. It's super effective. Fantastic.
He almost called him master! Oh. Oh, okay, nice, nice. Now I'm on duty.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah. Casual.
So what if Eraserhead just realized, all right, I can't arrest these people.
Oh, it's such a cool shot.
But he just follows them.
Oh, well.
Oh, well, that's actually how they're smuggling the drugs.
No way. Oh, you're right.
Yeah.
His tongue, yeah. Oh.
Okay.
Whoa, whoa.
No.
Bro just came straight from summertime rendering.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Whoa, hang
no.
on.
We got a kaiju level threat now.
All right. Aizuma just sees that and he's like, hey, All Might.
And his cock is like enormous. Quirk playtime. Oh. Oh, it kind of makes him like a baby, like a kid. What are you attached to?
What? Come on.
Bounce off of him.
Yep.
Oh my god. Just realizing that this guy is quirkless.
Yeah.
Yep. Whoa. Yeah.
Oh, shit.
Yeah. She's gonna die. She's gonna die.
Yeah, she might. All right, he can go up walls?
Yes. Do it.
All right.
Yes.
So then he'll launch himself off so that she can jump off of him, maybe? Nice.
Oh.
Ah, shit. Yeah. Whoa, oh, hey. Nice, yeah, Attack on Titan this shit.
And then slide alongside him. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, that's awesome. So why you always put your trash out in the morning. Hear that, Japan?
That's right. Nice.
Oh.
Well, that answers that question.
So casual.
Yeah.
Hey. Oh, hold on. Yeah.
ちょっと疲れただけ。
Hell's a lot.
ヒーロー気取りで大立ち回りとか。そもそも柄じゃないっていうか、結局落っこちたし。
You were her hero.
いちいちそういう言い訳
Yeah.
みたいなの意味ないし。
Yeah.
Yeah. Ew.
Gravity.
飛んだからだ。あとは俺に習ってゴミ捨て場に落ちたのは上出来。
Yeah, I appreciate the shout out, but
Right. But don't worry, I'll train you.
yeah. He's like, no.
Finish the word.
あれはついうっかり。
ついとかとっさに出る言葉や行動を
Whoa.
お前の
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Nice.
なんだてめえ。
Wait. Is this one of her fans?
I-
What?
Okay.
Jotaro and Cyclops?
Okay.
Middle
Middle
school.
school.
Never mind.
おいち、お前にいいものを
Yeah, that level of hair. Middle school.
バイク用のプロテクターと
Yeah.
Oh, all right.
Cool. Oh, so he can slide with only one point of contact.
But he just doesn't have stability.
He doesn't have stability, yeah.
Yeah.
グルレ
悪党どもに舐められ
Yeah, let's get a new name here.
Rebrand.
謎めいた香りのする男ザ・クローラ
Drop the you know.
Yeah.
何言ってんだ親切
They actually know you.
I love you, dude.
Yeah.
You're like the best.
親切マン改めザ・クローラ
Yeah, you should stick with nice guy.
The crueler.
クローマン
No, the Kreller, you know, like the donut.
何仕切ってんだこら
何すんだやめたまえプロテクター聞いてる言いたくない
Ah!
I swear.
貴様らのような
He keeps jumping off into trash like that. What the hell?
殴らなくてもいいですぞなんでいつもそこから入るんですかスカッとするために殴るのはダメです
But it works great.
Yeah, why not?
おいおいお前ら何
They're in middle school, too.
Yeah, yeah.
はーいちょっといいかな
ポップステップ
Yep.
ネットの動画いつも見てるぜ俺もいいね
I
Of course,
like
yes.
them.
悪い人じゃないんだけどまともだっていうか
俺はまともだってば
Oh.
This one looks like it could be, because of the drug.
Yeah. Oh, shit.
Perfect for your quirk.
Nyum. Okay.
Ow!
Yeah,
And he's just dead. Yeah.
師匠あれ
It seems like one of the traits of it is it kind of releasing it all over the body in a heteromorphic way. This is a fun rendition of that song.
oh,
Bro, you gotta work on your dodging right
yeah.
俺に気を取られてる間に
好きだらけだ例えば貴様は効果の個性で
Oh, yeah.
固めすぎて動き
there. Yes! Nice
All right.
combo move!
You're top heavy.
集中をかけばやばくなる
Oh!
Okay.
回
復の隙は
Look at you half-assed JoJo characters. This is how you
Right.
really do it.
乗るからだ写真を撮って身元を割るぞ
はい
Oh, damn.
顔を割るんだ
本当にありがとうございましたいえいえよかったね
Aw. And she smooths it over with all the people. Yeah.
Right, right.
みんなも友達が手を出しちゃってないか気をつけてみて
Spreading
何かあ
awareness.
ったらメールもらえる
Your phone number?
Right, right.
やべえよな
それじゃあまたね
Cool.
I love you.
The more she bounces beforehand, she like winds up her jumps.
Oh, yeah.
俺たちは謎の新ヒーローナックルダスターとザ・クローラ
地元警察によると被疑者は降下に加え怪力や巨大化の個性を発揮していたそうで
かなり派手なタイプ血流障害による口腔部の変色個性因子イディオトリガー摂取の副作用
Oh, they have the real name for it.
Okay.
それにしてもすごい顔
Is this
だ
Sakauchi?
Yeah, I
Yeah.
think so.
どこのヒーローだ過剰行為で免停になるぞ
この地域へのヒーロー出動は報告されていません
We've got some vigilantes.
無認可のイリーガルヒーロービジランテというわけか
Roll credits.
法律ってものがあるんだ相手がヴィランだろうがなんだろうが個人による死刑行為は犯罪だよ
今日の事件噂になってるよ
We're popping on social media.
なんかみんな怪人げんこつじじいと
And the crawler.
I love it. Hey, crawlers are delicious. You don't be upset about people calling you the crawler.
Yeah.
Crawlers are delicious.
You freaking donut.
They are light and fluffy and airy and go great with a glass of cold milk. You are a sweet boy, and so they are labeling you as such.
I just love how everything is about how unhinged the fist grandpa is, you know, basically.
Yep.
And he's probably like 35, you know?
Realistically, like...
He might be 40, you know, but
especially if he doesn't have a quirk, like, I know that, you know...
To being able to bulk that much.
Yeah, anime old people, they are made of sterner stuff, you know, but like...
Nah, he's not that old.
Nah. Yeah.
But I love so much. He's quirkless.
Yeah.
He's completely quirkless. And the fact that Aizawa confirmed it by based on what I can see and what's going on here, and the fact that there was no, like, reduction in any way by what he's doing here.
And clearly you're not a heteromorph.
Right. It would be interesting if there was some kind of, like, secret in that regard, or he does have some kind of very latent quirk that's hard to tell what it actually does. Or it's something that so completely doesn't have anything to do with his current physical, like, kind of style of fighting. But either way, that's being quirkless.
Yeah, that's a very fun development.
It's very cool.
Yeah, it's super cool, but then it also is a fun way to circumnavigate one of the potential, like, plot problems of what happens if you run into a hero and you're vigilantes. Well, because this guy technically is just a regular vigilante, right? Like, then that's not the jurisdiction of supers. Cool.
Yeah.
That's a
police thing.
Yeah, that's a police thing. Pass it along to the cops, you know, and so they have a reason to potentially be like, okay, we're not going to get in your way right now.
Yeah.
You know, as long as you're not doing anything crazy. And then, just the police will deal with that, or they won't, or whatever. And then as far as the other two, they're not, like, they're using their quirks, but not to do anything illegal. They're specifically like, catching the baby that, you know, is about to fall on the ground and all that stuff.
And there's some fun limitations that you have to play in within that for the writing of the story.
Yeah.
And thus it ends up potentially leaning into some areas that could be a little bit boring, where Pop Step just ends up kind of talking to people, and then they do goofy stuff to support the heroes that are actually doing the work, or dealing with problems of middle schoolers yelling at each other behind alleyways.
Right.
Which is rather corny and silly, but it was rather funny seeing their designs and the clear, references that they were.
Oh, absolutely.
But then also the fact that the one that's Summers on social media is actually already Pop Step's like fan and stuff. So that was
sure.
really cool.
I thought you were going to make a comment about the fact that he's clearly a Cyclops reference. So Scott Summers.
Oh yes, no.
Yeah,
I totally a Cyclops reference.
Yeah,
yes, absolutely, right. Scott Summers. But very, very fun. Silly kind of antics ensued in the second half, but the first half being okay, he's not only quirkless, but literally this is then the only hero that he would actually be a good match against.
Right, because literally anybody else would wipe the floor with him.
Well, you would body him.
Yeah.
You'd be like, just like, bro, this is sad. Like,
don't stop.
Stop. Like
talk to your kids.
Do you have family or anybody?
Get a hobby, He's
like, what are you talking about? This is my hobby.
Yeah.
Doing what? I'm not going to incriminate myself.
But theoretically, if, violence made me feel better, okay.
Oh, attacking people that attack me back. I'm now just doing self-defense, Razorhead.
Right.
I could come after you for just, violently help, I'm being oppressed,
Oh, man.
The violence inherent in the system.
Exactly. Yes.
Absolutely. But, okay, they've got their goofy names on social media now. Pop Step and them are all officially together now.
Yep.
They've gone through their actual first, bit of not hero work.
Right.
But yeah, Sakauchi is on the case with regards to the drug. The drug is a bigger problem. The old guy, the worker guy, actually had dispensers for it in his briefcase.
Right, the toys were that.
And he worked for a toy company.
Right, so
that
he might have
those in them. So that could have been his own thing.
Right,
but
and that's
it also
his cover.
Could have been that, no, the actual.
Yeah, he works for a company that makes this stuff, and this is how they like.
Or they just have a dark part of their company that focuses on distribution.
Right.
And they just pocket some money on the side, and they're like, no, on the front, we are just a regular toy company.
Right, they just have like a particular customer or whatever, or have like connections to the,
Yeah. And they just funnel that money into the books, and it just generally makes their business, earn more money. And it's like, oh yeah, some fun, shady stuff here. Mm-hmm. And that could also be a fun bit of ways in which the people who are like a part of this whole like drug business side of things are in deep with society, and thus even more so the heroes can't deal with them.
Yeah.
You would need somebody to break into a corporate office building and find the evidence and be like, oh no, look, it's here.
Yeah, which was kind of a little debate and switch, thing of like set up the whole thing of like, no, Knuckle Duster's crazy, we need to rein him in, and then no, he was actually right, so the fact that he accosted this random person, they actually were doing bad stuff, and so, we don't really have to deal with that, point that was being brought up that was a very legitimate point.
The part that I would actually lean into with this is if we're going to go on the theory that Knuckle Duster is effectively quirkless from the physical sense.
Yeah.
In the ED, he has a little sound cue that pops off.
Yeah.
And it gave me the vibe of one of two theories for his quirk being something that's non-physical, but it's very effective for his thing that he does. And it might also infer some of the ways in which his current view of society goes. I think he might be a human lie detector of some kind.
Okay.
Now, here's why.
All right.
If his comments about Koichi or Crawler is about, no, those things that you blurt out are the real you. It's not necessarily that it's when someone is saying something that's true or false, but when they believe something, when there's some kind of certainty or genuineness to that. So he can hear maybe how honest or genuine someone is being. So when the guy just walked out, he could see by maybe just listening to his vibe or something that he's no, there is something suspicious about this guy.
Right, which is that would definitely
activating.
That would definitely help out a lot with regards to what is probably going to end up happening in this show. So that way they don't have to really deal with the shit, that was just a random person. And
the other thing, just to tag on to this, the reason why this could work really well is that maybe from his perspective, he does believe he's quirkless, and this quirk is so slight that it just gives him a sixth sense for specific things.
That would be something that could very easily go under the radar as far as someone having a quirk where it's just you don't kind of like how the original One for All holder had a quirk, but because it didn't manifest in any way, you just don't know.
And I feel like for Knuckle Duster, him having a quirk that either hasn't manifested in an overt way to him because he's so unhinged, or also just something that he knows about, but it's so slight in its specific way that it's not something he makes a big deal about, because maybe it also hurts his social sides of things as well. If it's something that allows him to sense motives and stuff.
Well, one of the things that I'm curious to since Knuckle Duster is clearly the one with the backstory, right? Right. He's got the I am the main character, on my mission thing, and everyone else is kind of getting wrapped up in it.
Koichi's is for all of us.
Yeah,
he's dealing with society in that he's now in college. He's trying to just
work my job at the
deal with his his basic minimum wage job, and it's just life just kind of blows, y'all.
Yeah, it sucks.
It sucks, yeah.
Right. But given that Knuckle Duster is quirkless as far as we know, then that raises the question of where did he get his training? Because it could just be that this is just the hobby that he had in his spare time, or he used to be a thug or a boxer or whatever.
10 years in prison, and that's where he got.
Right, yeah.
He killed somebody, and maybe he got out on good behavior, he just bulked up and worked himself out.
Yeah, exactly.
All that time.
It makes me think that it's either the, he's ex-military, right? Or, he was in the criminal element and stuff, and so that's also maybe why he has maybe the sense of duty if I have to do this.
Sure.
But then also the sense of oh no, I can sniff it out. You know?
Yeah.
I can clock that
Right, and then it's not a quirk, it's just a
life experience thing. And you still have the problem that it would have of, but you're going to be wrong sometimes.
You're going to be wrong probably a lot of the time.
And if your first instinct is beat the shit out of the person, that's a problem, you know.
right. He does have the better to ask forgiveness than permission thing down to a T.
And that's great for you, but that doesn't work so well for the other person whose skull is now in several pieces, you know,
or even if they're not beat up that badly, it's the okay, we're gonna have to get them to a quirk hospital, or like they're going to be, you know, ruined for life.
Yep.
But then Pop Step being the one that might end up giving them the direction for a lot of this stuff and saving them from some bad PR.
Yeah.
I feel like could be kind of fun to play off of the, hey, everyone in this area knows Crawler or Mr. Nice Guy. Therefore, in a lot of ways, if the cops come around and are investigating like those people and stuff, they could be like, nah, fuck you. I'm not giving up our, like, cool neighborhood hero.
Oh, sure. Yeah.
Like, they're not bad. There's like, oh, so you know about them. Nothing.
Hey, listen, all I know is that for some reason, Mr. Nice Guy is trying to tell everybody that his name's Crawler now. You know, and...
Yeah, he probably got sponsored by Big Crawler or something.
Yeah, exactly. You know, right? Krispy Kreme, you know, said, hey... Krispy Kreme doesn't make crawlers, but, you know, something like that, right?
Crispy Creamy, you for legally distinct, you know.
That's right, right.
There,
Crisp and Cream, two
Crisp
different
and
heroes.
Cream.
You know?
Right. Yeah. Oh, that's a good hero thing. One burns and the other one melts, you know? Melts your heart.
But yeah, the idea of Pop Step being the one that basically is their go-between for society, right? Yeah. Because they both, Knuckle Duster and Koichi, are both kind of like on the outs in different ways, very different ways.
Very different ways, yeah.
But then, she can be the one that's like, okay, hey, if we are actually going to be doing this, if we are actually going to try and, show people that, hey, we are doing good things most of the time, not counting what we have to rein Knuckle Duster in from doing, that makes sense that she would be the person to sort of engage with that side of things, because clearly it's not going to be from Knuckle Duster and probably not from Koichi.
No. Another thing I just wanted to bring up, the drug and the way that it manifested in quirks that have like lots of different aspects to them, gives me a little bit of multiple quirk vibes. And given that that's something that Horikoshi ended up trending towards, obviously thematically hinted at with One for All and All for One early on, but the idea that that's something that is where a lot of the story's stuff ended up going towards. Yeah. The idea that the formation of this drug and in what it is potentially came from multiple people's lives or quirks or some other kind of thing there. That's potentially hinting at some dark stuff.
Well, and it's getting more in depth into the mechanics of how quirks in this world work, right? Because we, most of the time, the quirks are fairly self-explanatory, right? Sero has his tape or whatever.
Yeah, and you exchange some kind of physical energy or material in for something, some output.
But it would make sense, and we did have examples of this with Shoto, of the quirk marriages, which even if, there's that being done as the objective, but then you could have situations where it's just 80% of the world has quirks. People with quirks get married. They have a kid, right? Bakugo's thing being the combination of two separate things that then makes him able to make nitroglycerin and all that stuff as his sweat. That, if you then take that and then inject some quirk juicing element in there, it'd get pretty wild. It'd get pretty
nuts.
And there's nothing that says that the components of your quirk, like the individual little effects, have to be something that have like a cohesive theme to them, right? Yeah. If you have gigantification and strength and resilience and all that stuff, sure, that gives a sort of vibe, right? But it could just as easily be things that are completely different.
But okay, y'all, thank you so much for watching this episode's reaction and discussion. If you want to see the next episode's reaction and discussion right now, though, go check out the link in the description below for our Patreon. You got on early access there. You can watch full-length timer reactions there, and all of this comes with Discord access, so you can chat with us in the community there about this show, about anime in general, and also be sure to check out our Twitch channel. See if any of that interests you. We'll see you there. But until then, we're Semblance of Sanity. I'm Caleb.
I'm Jacob.
And we'll see you all next time.